On a mysterious island, a group of scientists is running through the woods to escape from a thick smoke that is taking over the area. They try to reach a helicopter, but a criminal known as Mr. X makes the chopper leave without them. Some scientists try to hold onto the skids, but most of them fall to their deaths. Mr. X takes a capsule from his suitcase and empties its contents on the people still hanging on. The chemical mutates their faces and makes them fall too. Soon the smoke kills the entire group. Moments later, billionaire Liam, also known as Iron Fist, receives a text from Mr. X to negotiate. Liam's girlfriend was an environmentalist who died in a terrorist attack, so he opened an environmental foundation in her name. He still has his girlfriend's eye and talks to it, saying he'll change the world like they planned. Meanwhile, Interpol agent Miao Yen is working undercover as a waitress in a restaurant to spy on a passport forgery group. She hears some clients saying creepy things about her, and one of them even touches her rear. Since she hasn't taken her bipolar medication, Miao Yen immediately freaks out and throws through the window to beat him up. The guy's partner comes out to beat her up in return, but she quickly overpowers him, throwing him against the truck and biting him. When another agent tries to stop them, he accidentally gets hit in the face and loses a tooth. In the meantime, extreme sports streamer Zhao Feng is on standing a very tall building. He gets all his equipment ready and starts a new live stream, only to discover his rival is next to him. Both men quickly start racing to see who will reach the top of the building first. They move at impressive speed but reach the top at the same time, so whoever stays there the longest wins. At that moment, lightning appears in the distance. Both streamers worry about the incoming storm, so Zhao Feng pretends he gives up to distract his rival and kicks him off to win. The other guy gets angry and immediately climbs up to push Zhao Feng in return. Unfortunately, Zhao Feng's harness breaks and he starts falling, breaking his camera in the process. He's got a parachute for emergencies, but one of the ropes also breaks and he crashes against a building. A sensor detects his presence and opens a door, so Zhao Feng stumbles inside and finds a gang of criminals. A bodyguard gets ready to shoot him, but his boss immediately cuts his finger to stop him because he thinks Zhao Feng is the dealer they've been waiting for. Then the man shows him a suitcase with a chemical called DM85 and its antidote formula before asking for Zhao Feng's case in return. Trying to play along, Zhao Feng says he must go out to get it, only for the criminal boss to threaten him with bodily harm. At that moment, the real dealer arrives surrounded by bodyguards, so Zhao Feng pretends to be the middleman. The criminals buy the lie and start arguing over the exchange, causing all the bodyguards to bring out their weapons. A terrified Zhao Feng exchanges the suitcases and tries to announce the deal is done, but they're interrupted by the arrival of the real middleman. Zhao Feng runs to hug him while pretending they're friends, and the man tells him to run before falling dead. While Zhao Feng runs away, the doors open again, and Bruce appears. She throws a cigarette at a thug's face, which causes an explosion. Both sides open fire, but their aim is terrible because of the smoke. Bruce uses the distraction to wait on the chandelier, and as soon as she sees an opening, she jumps down to start beating all the criminals up, using a needle as a weapon. Her fighting skills are outstanding, and her speed allows her to jump all over the room, knocking down men one by one. One of the guys with a suitcase manages to escape, but Bruce finds the other one. She grabs the suitcase and notices it's a bomb, so she throws it out so it can explode outside. Sometime later, Interpol finds this crime scene is given the case. While looking at the picture, she notices a badge with a logo and recognizes it as Zhao Feng's, meaning he accidentally dropped it. Meanwhile, Zhao Feng is shocked to find Bruce and her partner in his room. They explain they belong to the Order of the Phantom Knighthood, a secret organization that deals with terrorists. They share that Mr. X has stolen a biological weapon named DM85 and its antidote to sell it to Iron Fist, a well-known terrorist. The sale was interrupted by Bruce, but because of the security footage, Mr. X now thinks that Zhao Feng is working for Iron Fist. The Phantoms want Zhao Feng to pretend to be the buyer and meet with Mr. X in Budapest, so they can catch him, offering to pay well. Zhao Feng doesn't want to take the job because it's too dangerous, but he changes his mind when Bruce gives him a credit card with no limits. Sometime later, Zhao Feng arrives at the Budapest airport and enters a photo booth where a secret scanner recognizes his identity and begins printing a ticket. However, he's interrupted by his friend Ding Shan, who accidentally activates the self-destruct sequence. Luckily, he's here to off his latest invention, an EMP device that cuts off all circuits in a 1-meter radius. The self-destruct countdown is turned off, and Zhao Feng takes the print before rushing off. Miao Yin also arrives in Budapest and is welcomed by Detective Borky. She starts following Zhao Feng around the city, but loses him when he gets aboard a special train where he reunites with Bruce. In a private cabin, Bruce tells Zhao Feng and a few more agents that Mr. X wants to exchange DM85 for the Holy Grail, which is hidden in the Flemini mansion. To access it, they need a numerical code, which is changed frequently, and only the family knows it, but the agents think they can hack it. In 2 days, there'll be a birthday party in the mansion for Flemini's daughter, so it's the perfect opportunity for the agents to steal the Grail so Zhao Feng can exchange it with Mr. X later. Zhao Feng complains he's got nothing to do until then, and Bruce scolds him because he hasn't noticed that he's being followed. Afterward, Bruce sends Zhao Feng away, and the train is immediately hidden underground. Moments later, Miao Yin manages to approach Zhao Feng while pretending to be a fan. Jiao Feng agrees to hang out to keep her distracted, and they leave together in Ding Shan's car. On the way to his workshop, Ding Shan accidentally hits her assistant LV. However, she's fine, because she's wearing another one of his inventions called the Invincible Suit. She starts talking about the mission in front of Miao Yin, who asks to join it too, and Jiao Feng has no choice but to agree. Next, Ding Shan shows them an invention called Rocket Dress, but it's not ready yet, so it sends LV flying until she hits the side of a building. When they enter the lab, Ding Shan asks them to leave their phones out and go through a body search. Jiao Feng searches Miao Yin and gets too handsy, so Miao Yin gets ready to stab him with a pencil, only to be interrupted by Ding Shan offering snacks. Afterward, Jiao Feng discusses the mission. He's angry because Bruce doesn't let him be part of the action, so he announces he and his friends will steal the Griol first. He has no details on the mansion or the codes, so Miao Yin yells at him for his lack of planning. On the day of the party, Mr. Flemini meets with Liam, who also wants the Griol and promises to pay with an amazing future. Meanwhile, Jiao Feng's group pretends to be the music band hired for the party to get in. Berkey is inside as part of the security team and almost recognizes Miao Yin, so the others growl at him to distract him. Then Miao Yin writes a note for him explaining the situation, but he can't read Chinese. When they're given a room to get ready, they get all their equipment out. LV and Jiao Feng begin wandering around the mansion to hide a bunch of trackers, only to realize the Real band has also arrived. They distract the manager really badly and run to hide in another corridor, where they take off their disguises and split. Seconds later, Miao Yin is seen by the manager, who sends the guards after her. Miao Yin immediately begins running and hides in the East Wing, where she finds the birthday girl and her friends dressed like the band too. This allows her to blend in, and the guards don't see her. In the meantime, Ding Shan sneaks into a secret club in the mansion, where Flemini's brother Thomas spends his time with other men. Ding Shan pretends to be interested in Thomas, and takes him to a private booth where he gives him a massage. Once Thomas is distracted, Ding Shan gives him an injection that leaves him woozy, making it easy to get the code out of him. Then Ding Shan sends the code to Jiao Feng, who has found the black money area of the mansion while pretending to be a buyer. However, the guards ask him to leave his phone behind, so he has to memorize the code. Once he's inside, he's surrounded by so many numbers that he has trouble keeping the code fresh in his mind. After dodging lots of workers and boards with numbers, he manages to leave the black money room and reaches the special door. He can't remember the code and almost puts the wrong number, but at that moment the door opens and reveals Miao Yen. It turns out she made the birthday girl show her the room as a dare and knocked her out. Jiao Feng rushes to grab the Grial, and on his way out he reactivates the security system to leave Miao Yen trapped inside. A furious Miao Yen runs through the lasers to chase him, and the alarm alerts Flemini, who shares the situation with Liam. Thinking they're here for him, Liam tells him to kill them all. The guards immediately start moving and block the duo in a hallway, but Miao Yen quickly knocks him down so she and Jiao Feng can keep moving. After locking a door behind them, another agent catches them on the stairs, so Miao Yen avoids him by sliding down and Jiao Feng jumps to the other floor. Suddenly power goes out in the security room, thanks to Bruce, who uses a gas to put the guards to sleep. Liam finds a van with backup agents outside and immediately kills them all. Eventually Miao Yen manages to catch Jiao Feng while LV and Ding Shan come looking for them. At that moment Borky enters the room, and Miao Yen tells him to take out his gun to keep them from escaping. Soon the security team comes in and sends Borky away. The police chief tells Miao Yen that she's back on duty, but Jiao Feng notices a guard reaching for a gun and guesses it's a trap. He pushes her against the men to knock them down and throws some furniture to trap them, allowing LV and Ding Shan to run away. Then Jiao Feng escapes too while the security team opens fire on Miao Yen, who has to hide behind the furniture. At that moment Jiao Feng comes back through a back door and brings Miao Yen out with him. The team reunites outside, but before they can get in their van, it blows up in front of them. More guards appear with open fire, only to be run over by Bruce. She shoots the remaining men and makes the team get in the car before driving off. Suddenly another vehicle hits their car, and Bruce sees Liam at the wheel. A car chase ensues, and soon they reach the city, where the drivers start shooting at each other. They drive in circles around a police car, and the officer has to hide to avoid being shot. As soon as Bruce sees an opening, she breaks the circle and manages to escape, so Liam shoots the cop out of frustration. In the car, Miao Yen tries to arrest everyone, but Bruce points out that the cops in the mansion fired at her, which means the police are working with Liam. At that moment the team realizes Bruce is bleeding because Liam did manage to shoot her. So Jiao Feng helps her drive until they make it to a safe house in a cemetery. The technology here allows LV and Ding Shan to operate on Bruce, but there are still a few bullet shards in her body, and now she can't move a single muscle except for blinking. The incident on the mansion appears on the news, and now the team is seen as criminals. Miao Yen calls her boss, who confirms her name is on the global wanted list. She can't help imagining how horrible her life in prison would be, and how it would probably end with her self-deleting. Afterward, Jiao Feng announces that even without Bruce, they'll arrange the meeting to catch Mr. X. He retrieves the Griol from his pocket, only to discover it's broken. Moments later the team infiltrates a festival by pretending to be workers. The plan is to make a fake explosion during the meeting and catch Mr. X when he tries to run away from his private tent. However, Liam finds Mr. X first, shooting him and his people before stealing the suitcase. By the time Zhao Feng gets there, it's too late. He warns his friends, and they try to activate the net trap, but the device fails and Liam just keeps walking. Miao Yan steals a bike to join the chase, while Zhao Feng climbs a very tall decoration to try to bring it down. He isn't strong enough, but Miao Yan hits it with the bike, and the decoration falls on top of Liam's car, trapping him. Then Zhao Feng jumps on top of the vehicle and dodges all of Liam's shots to steal the suitcase. Miao Yan picks him up on the bike, and they manage to escape the festival. There are men on bikes coming after them with open fire, and they end up driving through a bunch of restaurant tables. By making lots of quick turns, Miao Yan makes most of the enemies crash against different buildings. Only the bike with Liam is left, and when Miao Yan tries to get away, Zhao Feng accidentally drops the suitcase. Both vehicles rush to grab it, but Liam gets it first and drives off. Miao Yan makes a big jump on her bike to catch up to them, and they start fighting over the suitcase. There's a truck coming, so Liam jumps on Zhao Feng before his own bike is run over. As Miao Yan falls off, Zhao Feng tries to fight Liam, but he's also kicked off. He has to move quickly to avoid getting crushed by another truck. At the bridge, LV and Ding Shan set up some spikes to stop Liam. However, he drives on the side to avoid them, and pushes some sheet metal on his way down. The metal flies off and hits LV, severely hurting her. Later at the hospital, while LV is in the operation room, Zhao Feng says he wants to avenge her, but Miao Yan starts scolding him for always treating things like a game. When Ding Shan yells at both, Zhao Feng walks away without a word. Meanwhile, Liam shows his girlfriends the effects of DM-85. It turns out it can transform people into plants. Minutes later, the chemical is falling all over New York, and the news begins talking about a terrorist attack. Zhao Feng watches videos of innocent people mutating into plants and sends a message to Miao Yan, who is drinking to forget. The duo teams up again and recruits Ding Shan to shove him a video LV recorded at the hospital. She wants them to keep fighting and has organized Ding Shan's backup assistants. Ding Shan starts working on a bunch of inventions for their next plan, while Miao Yan and Zhao Feng bond over their life experiences. Once everything is ready, the team destroys all the things in the lab to leave no evidence behind. Miao Yan also burns her police ID and her medicine. Later in the city, Ding Shan uses a laser to cut off the roof of the police chief's car. Once the vehicle crashes, Zhao Feng bungee jumps to kidnap the chief, although he has to try twice because he grabs the wrong guy first. After Zhao Feng secures the chief with a Miao Yan pulls them into a building, and the chief is captured inside the invincible suit. Soon police officers are rushing upstairs to look for them, so the duo has to block the door. While they're distracted, the chief tries to escape by jumping over the balcony. Then Zhao Feng grabs Miao Yan and brings her down with him, using another invincible suit to avoid getting hurt. They grab the chief and quickly get in the car to escape. As they drive through the city, Miao Yan keeps the chief outside the car as a threat to make him talk. There are DM-85 bombs in 10 cities that will be detonated in an hour, and Liam is controlling them through a satellite. Soon the cops start chasing them, so Zhao Feng has to speed up, driving as fast as possible while the chief keeps getting bumped against random objects. Eventually Miao Yan can't hold him anymore and drops him, so the cops run over Thierry Chief to continue the chase. Suddenly a random car blocks the street, and the angry driver refuses to move first. Zhao Feng activates Ding Shan's modifications, and a ramp appears on the front of the vehicle that allows him to push the other car off. The next street is stuck in a traffic jam, so Zhao Feng uses boosters to make the vehicle push through the traffic, causing cars to rain all over the place. Unfortunately, the following street is under repairs, and the duo ends up crashing against some building materials. They appear to be stuck, but thankfully their car has mechanical legs that allow them to walk over the pile of stuff. At that moment, a man opens fire at them, and the car falls back into normal position. So the duo has no choice but to activate the ejection seat to escape. The device comes with a bunch of balloons that allow them to float for a while until Ding Shan catches them with a net. Unfortunately, an enemy has made it into his truck and captures the whole team to take them to Liam's headquarters. While showing off his plan, Liam punches the team just for fun and adds Budapest and Hong Kong to the list of cities to be bombed. Then Liam uses Ding Shan's finger to release the catalyst in all the main cities, but he'll drop the actual DM-85 from his helicopter to watch the destruction from above. After Liam leaves, Miao Yan insults a guard to make him come closer, and Zhao Feng makes a jump to bring him down. When the other guard also comes, he and Miao Yan attack him together to knock him out too. The trio frees themselves by cutting their bindings on some broken glass, and notices that the helicopter hasn't left yet, so they have a chance to stop it. The team starts running through the corridors, shooting and fighting any guard that tries to stop them. Eventually they find a lab, and use all the objects there to attack their enemies too. A guard catches Miao Yan and pulls her into another room before locking it, while Ding Shan breaks some glass spheres that release the catalyst gas inside. While fighting the men, Miao Yan also breaks a sphere and notices a guard running away, which means it's the DM-85. She runs to leave the room, but the other guard is stuck inside and immediately turns into a plant. Ding Shan loses his gun when it gets stuck on a big globe, and he realizes this is a machine. He uses his EMP device to turn the globe off, and it falls through some glass, crushing all the men that were going after Miao Yen. While a guard catches Ding Shan, he throws the device at Miao Yen, who shoots the man to help his friend. Meanwhile, Jiao Feng is climbing on the walls to reach the bridge with the chopper. But when he lands, he's blocked by more men. He fights hard to bring them down while Miao Yen is also surrounded by enemies who make her drop the device. Eventually, Jiao Feng manages to free himself and runs to grab the device. Then he quickly climbs a crane and makes a risky jump that allows him to reach the helicopter. After he activates the EMP device, the chopper starts going down and hits the bridge before crashing into the pit. Miao Yen and Ding Shan watch in despair as their friend dies in the explosion. Sometime later, Miao Yen gets a call from Bruce, who is feeling better thanks to acupuncture. She asks Miao Yen to join her organization, and Miao Yen agrees, so she calls her Interpol boss to tell him off. Meanwhile, Jiao Feng is climbing out of the pit. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.